só chegar a esta casa.
You bet it would. Who wouldn't want an adorable little sister like me?
That's a bit narcissistic, wouldn't you say?
Well, it's true, isn't it? Go on, tell me I'm adorable, dearest Michelle. What? Well, don't just stare at me. If my Mel were here, he wouldn't bat an eye.
Please, don't compare me to him. You know, now might be a good time to tell her about Morgana. Part of me feels like I would be taking advantage of her newly earned trust, but it'll certainly be easier to bring up now while she holds me in such high regard. She's much more likely to believe me.
You're right. I agree now is probably the best chance we'll get. Especially considering how little time we have.
I can't shake the feeling I'm rushing things. But at this point, all I can do is go with it and pray.
If we had the time, I think we'd all like to hold off. Nellie looks like she's having so much fun. And even you seem to be enjoying yourself.
No, I'm just...
It's nothing to be ashamed of. I'm having fun watching you myself. Let's do it. Let's tell her about Morgana. We have to do it at some point anyway.
Yes, let's. Nellie, do you mind if I ask you a question?
What is it, dearest Michelle? Ask me anything you want.
Have you heard of something called Saint's Blood?
You mean the medicine?
Yes, except it's not actually...
I know, yeah. Oh.
Huh?
It's actually the Saintess' blood. Oh,
What?
not medicine. Alright, so she doesn't know the real story, but... not medicine. But no telling.
You... what?
One day before we moved here, when it was just me and Mel, the Saintess came to visit. My mind had been all foggy for a long time, like I was not quite asleep, but not quite awake either. But when I heard her soft, pleasant voice, the fog cleared a bit. And then she performed a miracle for me. Blood is awful and gross and terrible, but the Saintess, hers is different. Hers is pure.
So you're saying you know everything, Nellie? About the observation tower and...
Huh? The tower? What's about it?
That's where they keep her.
What? No, the Saintess is always in the chapel. And she stays here with me. She comes back at nights. In fact, she should be here any minute now.
She's talking about Pauline.
Yeah, so she thinks it's Pauline's blood that's in there. So she thinks the Saintess
Is the nun and not Morgana. No, Nellie, that blood comes from...
I mean, I'm really, really grateful to her. She didn't just perform the one miracle. She's been taking care of me while I'm here too. So whenever I see her, I always say thank you. I thank her for sharing her blood with me. And she says it's nothing with a big smile.
Nellie, no. The nun has no idea. She just assumes Nellie's thanking her for giving her the medicine.
I owe the Saintess my life.
No, Nellie. She's not the one you should be grateful to.
Huh?
The girl you owe your life to has been locked up, suffering and alone even as we speak.
But the saintess is at the church.
The girl who came to visit you is not the nun everyone calls the saintess. Her name is
Oh, so she doesn't even remember. Because I was wondering why she kept insisting it was just two, but she doesn't even remember how Morgana helped her from, like, before they captured Morgana. Huh. What are you talking about, Michelle? The saintess is locked up. Stop that. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Everything I'm telling you is the truth. Please believe me. While you were lying in bed, sick and barely conscious, did you get a good look at the saintess who gave you her blood? You didn't, did you? You couldn't make out any details because your mind was a haze. And then, when you arrived at this estate, you met a woman, who people called the saintess, giving out medication known as seeds. So you assumed she was the one who had cured you. That's the story you chose to believe.
If what you're saying is true, then where's the other saintess? The one who came to see me?
At the top of the mansion's observation tower. The door to the tower is locked. She's imprisoned there.
And how do you know this?
Because it wouldn't be wise to tell her I'm from the future just yet. That would only serve to confuse her further. All I need to convince her of right now is that Morgana is being held in the tower. There's an idea. Perhaps I can borrow from the story the white-haired girl told me. I received a letter.
A letter?
There's a single window, far out of reach, in the chamber at the top of the tower. A dove flew in through the window, and so she wrote a letter, tying it to the bird's leg and releasing it in the hope someone would come to set her free. The letter ended up in my hands.
If that's the case, then who locked her up? Was it the saintess? The one I know?
No, I don't believe the nun is aware. I think she's simply doing her job in good faith.
Then who... Michelle.
I know her very well. That what I'm about to say will likely crush her. But I can't let that stop.
Who would do such a terrible thing?
Nellie, I want you to brace yourself for what I'm about to say. There are 3 men participating in Morgana's imprisonment. And one of those 3 is your brother, Mel. I understand that that's the last thing you wanted to hear. But please believe me, I would not say something so upsetting. I wish to save Morgana, the true saint. And I would like your assistance. Without your help, I can't get her out of that tower. I need you to get through to Mal, otherwise both he and Morgana will remain entrapped.
That's not true.
Nellie.
You're lying. You have to be. My Mel would never do something so horrible. You're a terrible liar.
It's true, I swear to you.
You think I'm going to believe that? My Mel. My Mel's an amazing, wonderful person. He's not cruel and evil. He's good and kind, like a prince. And a prince would never lock someone up.
I know you're not blind, Nellie. You can see that all your prince talk has been putting pressure on.
So? You think that's going to change my mind? He has no reason to do any of that.
But he does, Nellie. He's certainly not happy about it, no, but he's doing it for you.
What do you mean?
He needs her blood to keep you healthy. So, to ensure he always had a supply.
But no, he...
And despite that, Saint's blood probably doesn't even have healing properties. No one benefits from doing this. Not you, not Mel, and certainly not Morgana. I don't think anyone can stop him except you.
Mel won't listen to me.
Did you not just say you would talk things through with him?
Just shut up! Stop talking already! I'm done listening to you.
Nellie.
I'll never believe you. You're not my brother anymore. You're just a horrible, horrible man. Who do you think you are to march in here and try to make my Mel into the bad guy? And after I made you my second brother. What's wrong with you? I trusted you. I ate nasty pie and had tea with you. But you're just a mean, evil man here to turn me against my Mel.
I know you don't want to believe me, but I'm telling you the truth, every word. I beg you to open your eyes. Ask him yourself. If you don't believe me, then ask Mel about Morgana. I guarantee you, he'll panic.
Enough! Enough already! Get out of here! Get out this instant!
Nellie.
Don't say my name! Just go away! Get out of here! Now! I don't want to see you ever again! I should have chased you off the moment I saw you. Get out now!
I pray you can find it in yourself to open your eyes and face the truth.
Get out!
One last thing before I go, Nell. What?
Huh?
It was my only option. I know that. But I feel like all I accomplished by telling her was bringing her more pain. It's a difficult balance.
We just have to pray that you were able to get through to her. I'm sure she'll come around.
We don't have time for that, Giselle.
Mm-hmm.
If only we had a little more time. And Morgana and the entire web of people connect. It's not enough time. Let's return to the mansion and look for Mel. I would like to speak with him. If there's a chance we can even get the smallest bit of Nellie's feelings through to him, maybe he'll have a chance of...
Hopefully.
It's hardly going to be elegant, but it's what must be done.
Ah, did you just get back? The Saintess was telling me you want to see Nellie. What do you think? A sweet girl, isn't she?
That she is.
Though she can be a bit of a handful at times. I'm glad you could keep her company for a bit. Now, just to be sure, you kept a lid on all your crazy talk, right?
About that... She treated me to some tea, nothing more.
Ha, the stuff with the flower petals in it, yeah? She thinks it's some kind of charm to make it taste better. Girls seem to have a thing for stuff like that.
Mel.
Hmm?
Could you spare a bit of time for me? We need to talk.
Sure. Can't it wait a bit, though? I have to run a little errand after supper. When I'm done with that, I'll meet you in your room.
Getting blood.
Hmm.
Alright.
You think the errand is...
Bringing Morgana her meal, presumably. We might be able to catch the three of them opening the door if we trail them.
It's too big a risk. Mel's already wary enough as it is.
I concur, and we don't know how the other two might react either. It's best to play it safe. No one's going to come to our defense if we're caught, not at this point in time. So we'd be better off waiting in our room.
Agreed.
Though winter has receded and spring is well upon the land, there's still a sharp chill in the night. Even with the windows shut, the wind still manages to slip through the cracks, making the candle flame waver. Neither Giselle nor I say much of anything. But nevertheless, when she does speak, the sound of her voice, soft and pleasant, relaxes my nerve. The faint sound of her breathing reminds me I'm not alone, that she's there, always watching over me. When the candle's about half gone, the door swings open.
Sorry it took so long. What did you want to talk about?
You didn't bring anyone with you?
No, I didn't. Who did you think I would bring?
No one, I was just checking.
Netsu?
Sorry, my sister just brought me food.
Oh, okay.
Now, I'll get straight to the point. You're afflicted with a great deal of remorse, are you not, Mel?
Pardon?
I know what you're doing, what you're involved in. I know the girl at the top of the observation tower very well. Her name is Morgana, and you have her imprisoned in the tower. The door requires 3 keys to open, of which you possess 1. You need her for her miracle blood.
How?
I came here to stop you.
How do you know any of that? It's not possible she could have told anyone. Did one of them tell you?
No, it wasn't them. I was told all of this by Morgana herself.
How could she?
What I'm about to tell you is going to seem impossible, but every word of it is the truth. I am not from this time. Many, many years after her death, Morgana's soul told me what happened to her.
What are you even talking about? She's still alive. You're not from this time. What? Are you mad?
Can you come up with any other explanation for how I would know everything I know? There's a single window in the room at the top of the tower. A small, insignificant thing that sits high upon the wall, and entirely useless for communicating with the outside world. In 3 days' time, during the harvest festival, Morgana will die. And I must prevent that from happening.
Prevent it?
To do that, I need your key. Will you give it to me?
There you go, talking nonsense again. You know, I warned you not to kick up any dust, for your own sake. But I guess that didn't get through, huh? I don't care who you are or where you came from. All that matters is that you intend to stand in our way. What, did you think I was just a helpless little boy? That you could take my key without any trouble? Well, you'd be right about that. If it was only me, stealing my key and setting her free would be a trivial matter. But it's not only me. And the other two, they won't hesitate to kill you. Your life, anyone's life, means nothing to them. You don't know what they're like, how terrifying they can be. They're killers. I'll tell them everything you told me. I'll tell them you know our secret. And don't come crying to me when they come for you. I warned you.
Is that what you want? Will you find the comfort you seek by being their devoted little slave and keeping Morgana imprisoned in that?
What else can I...
If you feel at all ashamed about your part in this, if you want to do something to correct it, then you need to take that step. You can't fix... Are you okay?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Was that just me then? Maybe.
No, my shirt accidentally brushed against the mic.
Oh! You can't fix this problem on your own, no. But I am here to help.
I'm not ashamed about anything.
Don't lie to yourself.
Don't act like you know how I feel. What the hell is your deal anyway? You show up out of nowhere spouting all this, I'll save you, and I'm here to help, rubbish.
You need to do this for your sister.
See, now that's ridiculous. If I wash my hands of this, I won't have access to the witch's blood anymore. And without that, Nellie can't get better. She'll die without that blood.
Her blood has no miraculous healing powers. You only believe it does, making it appear to work.
You're mad.
Morgana's blood is not curing Nellie. In fact, it may very well be killing her. If you keep giving her that blood, Nellie will also lose her life during the Harvest Festival.
What?
You're standing on the precipice of a horrific tragedy, and you're going to take everyone down with you if you don't turn back now.
What are you?
All three of you are going to lose everything on the day of the festival, and there's only one way to prevent it. You have to set Morgana free.
You're insane if you think I would believe that. Nellie's going to die. Could you have told me a more mean-spirited lie? You're the one who's trying to kill her. I'm just trying to save her.
Sorry, I took a big bite. And you're going about it the entirely wrong way. Do you have any idea how lonely your sister is right now? You should be at her side. That's what you should be doing instead of stealing a poor girl's blood.
I've heard enough. What do you know? If I lose Nellie, I'll have no one. My whole world will collapse. This was the only way I could keep that from happening. This was my best option, my only option. So no, I'm not going to stop. I'm going to keep Morgana locked up, and I'm going to keep stealing her blood. And I'll hand you over to the other two. I'll have them kill you. You'll regret ever showing your face.
Oh, shit!
Wow. Wow. Nell, is that really true? What? Do you really have the Saintess locked up? Why? What are you doing here, Nellie? That man told me I had to talk to you. And he said if I didn't have the courage to do it myself, to wait outside his room at night because he was going to get the truth from you. You conniving son of a... You were planning this all along! Why would you tell Nellie? Why would you bring her of all people into this?
Mel,
Mm,
tell me, Mel, is it true?
Nellie,
Are you really keeping the saint as prisoner and stealing her blood?
Mm,
And you said you would have him killed.
I just...
I I never thought you were such a terrible person, Mel. I can't believe you would do such despicable things. No, you're not my brother anymore.
Nellie! Michelle, go after her!
Go after Nellie?
Ooh, I guess so. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
Giselle said so
Yeah.
we have to stop her. Bring her back. Nellie!
Don't follow me. Just go away. Leave me alone.
Stop! If you run away from him now, Mel will never come back from this.
Mm. Then why did you tell me? Why did you tell me what he was doing? If you hadn't said anything, everything would still be fine. We wouldn't be in this horrible mess. If you hadn't said anything, I could keep on believing in him.
No, things wouldn't be fine. Why can you not see that? You shouldn't put your faith in your ideal brother, but your real one. The boy in that room stricken with regret. If I hadn't said anything, the facade would have ruined you both sooner or later. No, in truth, your relationship was already broken. You were simply ignoring the spreading cracks. I know, on some level, you had realized that Mel was keeping something incredibly important from you, and that secret was tearing you apart.
Mm. There's nothing good about this, though. Now we'll never go back to the way things were. We can never go back to what it was like when we were kids. Just the two of us playing together every day, having fun.
Everyone's childhood comes to an end. The flow of time is impartial. You cannot fight it. What you can do, what only you can do, is just how you change.
But
I will admit, I am the one who opened your wounds, and now I'm putting the responsibility of tending to them onto you. It's cruel, I know. But if you don't come to terms with Mel and make him withdraw his participation, even greater suffering awaits you far in the future. It's not over yet. You cannot let this be where it ends. The bonds you formed over the years are not yet broken. And you can do what I was never able to. You can still repair your relationship.
But I'm scared. Scared that my brother, that my Mel could do such terrible things. That he could say he would kill you. He used to be such a good brother. He was always so kind, so friendly to everyone. But it was all a lie. It was all a big act to fool me.
No, it was not all an act. There was truth to it. He is a kind-hearted boy, an ordinary young man, whose kindness was twisted by circumstance. And it doesn't matter how good a person someone is. Everyone has the potential to do terrible things when backed into a...
You think you know everything?
I know that much. Nellie, if you want your brother back, you have to act now. Please, you must take action.
But I'm scared. What am I supposed to say to him? I don't know.
I'll be there with you. You don't have to face this alone. There's more to this story than we've heard. We don't know how he got himself involved in this, and I mean to get the rest of it out of him, and you need to be there to hear it.
If, when I hear what he has to say, I try to say something I shouldn't, if I try to say something that will ruin everything, you'll stop me. You're the one who told me to open my eyes and face him. You're the one who made this whole mess. What am I supposed to do if all this destroys everything I have? You said you'd be my brother, right? So be a good brother and help me out here. Promise me you'll make sure nothing goes bad. You'll do that, won't you?
Michelle, just say yes. We won't let this go bad. Have faith in yourself. Faith that you put their relationship on track to recovering. Promise her. Give her the courage she wants from you.
You have nothing to fear. I'll be there for you. I'll help you both.
Okay, I'll do it. I'll go back.
Thank you, Giselle.
Oh, don't mention it. Now let's go see what he has to say for himself. Let's draw back that curtain.
Yes, let's.
Nellie.
Nell,
Awkward.
What did you come back for? To ridicule me? I'm not the brother you thought I was, huh? Not at all what you wanted me to be. It's all over. Everything Michelle said is true. There's a girl imprisoned in the tower. A completely innocent girl. The girl who saved your life, in fact. Go on. Tell me how cruel and terrible and evil I am. I'm no prince. Here's an idea. Why don't you make him your new prince?
You can do it, Nellie. Ask him.
you have your reasons, don't you? You have some reason for being a part of this, right?
A reason? Yeah. I have a reason, all right. I wanted to save your life. I needed her blood to cure you, so I had her locked up.
Tell me the truth. I don't remember much about when the Saintess came to visit, but I do remember a little. I remember her saying she would gladly give whatever she could to the sick and needy. Which means you had no need to lock her up.
It would seem that tale Morgana showed me was true. She really was a saint.
Yes, she was.
Tell me the truth, Mel. Tell me everything.
There's nothing to tell.
There is, I know it. There's much more to this story than just the facts. The things you thought, the things you felt, are all pieces that combine to make a whole story. Isn't that right, Michelle?
You're exactly right.
If you hadn't said anything, we could have gone on with our lives as normal.
No, Mel, we couldn't have. I thought so too at first, but it's not true. our normal lives ended long ago. Tell me the truth, Mel. No matter what it is, I can handle it.
No, Nellie, you can't. A girl like you who dreams of becoming a princess couldn't possibly bear to see how hideous her brother had become.
How can I know if you don't say anything, though? That's how it's always been with us. You were nice to me, and that was all I needed. I never looked beyond the surface. I made you into my ideal brother, and I latched onto that image of you. You're a kind person, Mel. You really are. So kind you played along with my fantasy that you were a prince. But you don't have to act for me anymore. I want to know the real you. I'm all done being a princess. I'm just your little sister now, nothing more. Your one and only little sister, Mel.
Mm.
You need to. You need to do this, Mel. You need to tell your story. Until you do, we have no way of understanding what you've been through, what you're going through.
No way. If I tell you, you'll lose any hope you had left in me.
As Nellie has, you need to release yourself from your own idealized fantasy, Mel. You have someone right here who will accept you for who you are. I know good and well just how hard it can be to have someone dear to you see a side of you that you didn't want to show. I think you want to get it off your chest, though. And I think you want forgiveness. Fantasies are not everlasting. They all crumble eventually. Show us the real Mel. Tell us your story, without embellishments or omission.
Mel,
Oh, okay. I'll tell you. Not like I have any other options. Nellie, if at any point you can't bear to hear anymore, so be it. You're free to leave whenever you like.
I won't go anywhere. I can almost guarantee you.
I pray that ends up being true. Alright, here goes. The whole story, from start to finish, of how I ended up in this mess. Until around the time I turned 17, my life was mostly uneventful. On days when it was nice out, I would take walks around the house's grounds, sometimes napping beneath a tree. It was picturesque, and you were always there with me. You have the same flax-colored hair as me, but yours always seemed to glisten in the sun, whereas mine is flat and dull. You shone like a tiny little dancing sun. At the time, I assumed that was how life would always be. I genuinely wanted it to be. Following my 17th birthday, though, I was met with a deluge of changes. First, father fell ill, and passed away shortly thereafter. With his death came the question of who would be the next head. As the oldest son, normally it would fall on me to take his place. I was 17, by all means enough of an adult to handle things myself. Or, well, that's what I thought anyway. Nobody else did, though. After discussions I had no part in, it was decided that my uncle would be the next head. That they weren't confident I had the spine to do the job properly. I wasn't sure what to think. Part of me wanted to know why nobody bothered talking to me, and part of me was relieved. Somewhere inside, I knew I didn't have what it took. So I was more than happy to let someone else take that responsibility. If it meant I could go on with my quiet life, I didn't care who they picked. My uncle, though, seemed to have caught on to my apathy, which he did not take kindly to, and in response he formally disowned me. You're not the only one who still has some growing up to do, Nellie. I would think that the uncle would be happy about that, because then that means he has no obstacle to,
Yeah.
and he could then later let one of his oldest son inherit. Eh, you're not the only one who still had some growing up to do, Nellie. I wasn't quite the adult I thought I was either. Fortunately, if you want to call it fortune, I was given enough money to live on for a decent length of time, as well as a place to stay. It was a small house far from home, his way of making it hard for me to come back. Not that I had any intention of returning. But the best thing to come out of it all was you coming with me, Nellie.
So, this is our new home, dearest Mel.
Yep, so it is. It's amazing how little there is. No big yard, no paintings, no vases filled with colorful flowers, no silver bowls full of fresh-picked fruit.
But there is you and me.
You're not going to go and say you want to return home in a couple months when you realize life isn't as luxurious here as it was back there, are you?
There's only one thing in the whole world I really need.
Oh?
Honestly, I can live without shiny shoes and pretty dresses like mother wears. I don't need composers to come and write me songs for my birthday. As long as I have the one thing that matters most to me, I can do without anything else.
Are you saying?
I'm as happy as I've ever been. I don't need all that fancy, expensive stuff. We may not have a huge yard, but the sun shines everywhere. Flowers can grow even without a gardener tending to them.
Nellie.
I'll do whatever I can for you, dearest Mel. Are you hungry? I'm hungry.
Oh, yeah, a bit.
All right, I'll make something then. Start off with some fruit jam, then maybe make a pie out of it. What else sounds good? I'm craving cookies.
You've got quite a sweet tooth. You're going to make yourself sick like that?
That's the first smile I've seen since we got here.
Well, that can't be right. I'm sure I've been smiling.
Nope, you've been frowning all day.
Whatever you say.
Forget about all that stuff at home. We've got each other. We can do this. Who cares that we're not rich anymore? We'll figure out things in no time. And then we'll have even more fun than we did back there.
Yeah, you're right.
It'll all work out, dearest Mel. I'll always be here for you. You've got yourself an adorable little princess. What more could you possibly need? Cheer up.
Thanks. I'm really glad you decided to come with me.
Oh, did you think for a second I wouldn't? I'm your princess, dearest Mel. And princesses belong with their princes.
I suppose so. Until that day, I had never known how good it felt to have someone who wanted me in their life, who saw me for me. I realized for the first time how blessed I had always been. I was hardly prince material. I wasn't strong or handsome or regal enough for that. But Nellie calling me her prince gave me the illusion of being worth something. It made me feel like I could keep on being that richly blessed young man, even this far from home. And with that, we will end the stream right here. I'm glad we are finally getting this perspective because there was so much there that just so many holes there.
Yeah.
But thank you everyone as always for joining us and see you Thursday. We will pick this back up this Thursday at 9 p.m. EST.
Yeah.
Yeah, it should be no problem for the world's strongest person that I'm going to treat with respect to knock it down.
She just knocks him down right there.
When you expect a woman, Yasuhiro?
What was that?
Oh,
That's why
no,
you don't
that's
reveal
it.
your ideas. You do it after.
Oh, I think that maybe now he puts the rule.
Oh, that nipple.
No.
Not the
It
nipple!
gets me every time.
No, please. Continue. Did you say I've got the nicest butt on the block? The curviest hips in town? Is that what you said?
I was talking about your gross belly nipple.